What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this channel. It's all about architecture, engineering, and construction, and we are all about bettering the African narrative. Okay, so if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notifications bell so that you will never miss out on any information that we bring out on this channel. And also, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for following. Thank you very much for watching. It's been quite a long time before we did a video like this. Okay, but we are back again to answer most of your questions that you guys keep asking me in my inbox here and there, and also of course from the experiences we get as we deal with different clients here and there. So today we are going to address an issue which is quite common for at least almost everybody that is going to be involved in construction at one point in their life. Okay, because you see, in our country, our plots, the standard size of a plot in this country, at least the starter size, is literally 50 by 100 feet. That translates to 15 meters by 30 meters. Now in this video, we are going to be specifically discussing how many rentals can actually fit on a 50 by 100 plot in this country, because some of you, I realize, come with a lot of expectations or come with low expectations. So we are going to be discussing how we can maximally utilize a 50 by 100 plot, and we'll see what advantages that we have with different arrangements of building plans. We are going to be focusing mainly on either 2-bedroom houses and also single bedroom houses, specifically for rentals. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoy this video, and please, if there is anything that you might think has not been clarified better, please do that in the comment section so that I can know, and then we answer that in the next video. Okay, so without wasting a lot of your time, let's head into the video.
Like I said, in this video we are basically focusing on only single bedroom apartment designs. Okay, of course there are several other ways in which we can design single bedroom apartments, but we have chosen to only select a few which seem to be most applicable in many scenarios. Of course, you know that lands have different shapes, and also people have different preferences. So when we are designing apartments, we basically look at the preferences and also what is feasible based on the shape of the land and where the access road is. Just like you see now in this very design, the access is here. Okay, so in this part of the 100 feet, and you find that in some scenarios you might find that the access is actually on this side. Okay, which might also call for a different other planning, in which we can we look for a planning that will maximize the land as much as possible, so that any unutilized land can still be used as parking. Okay, so anyway, as we head right into the video, there are many ways of designing single bedroom apartments, but like I said, since we are focusing on only 3 of them, I'm going to be going through the 3 of them and how best we can copy concepts here and there so that we can maximize land in whatever scenario when we are dealing with single bedroom apartments. For example, this one that you actually see on the screen, if I'm to cut through for you here, you can see that before I actually cut, you can see on this 50 by 100 plot, we are basically having 3 units. Okay, that means that is on the ground. So we have 1 unit here, we have another unit here, okay, and then we have another unit here. If we had an extra length on this 100 side, if it was, for example, 100 by 20, 130, it would have been able to actually give us more units than 3. We could actually get about 4 units. Now, it's possible to have 4 units on a 50 by 100 plot, but there are many more disadvantages that might come with it. The rooms might be small and very inconvenient, and also there might not be enough breathing space on the plot, at least for the tenants. Okay, so the reason why we are actually going for 3 is because that is what will be the most convenient, and also to leave us with some extra parking here, as you'll be able to see in the videos on the screen. Okay, so I'm now going to cut for you through here so that you can actually see. So if I do my cutting, we have a living room here, very small, not really small, but just a sizable living room, just about 3.5 meters by 5 meters, which is roughly about 16 square meters. Okay, so it has actually a balcony that overlooks onto the outside, which is actually into the parking. Then we have a small kitchen that is really just enough for this kind of apartment, where you can do the cooking and the washing of the utensils and all have you. Okay, then we have a door here that leads to the outside balcony, which is at the back of the house. And then we have a small bathroom here that actually has a shower. Okay, it has a shower cabin, it has a toilet seater, it has a wash hand basin, and then also we have the bedroom here. which basically has a closet here. As you can see, we have a bed here, and on the sides of the bed we have those strip windows. Okay, so that is basically one unit. Okay, so this actually goes on and is multiplied onto the rest. The plan is actually the same, just that in some other scenarios it's mirrored here and there, as you can see. Okay, so basically if you are to have them to have a good size and be able to fit on a 50 by 100, you might end up having only 3 units, and of course we leave this distance as required by the regulations. Usually it's required to leave a minimum of 1.5 meters to the boundary wall. So if you're to risk and have more units, you might have challenges getting your plan approved. Okay, but basically that is it. So in certain scenarios where you find like this is actually getting so close to the boundary wall, what we usually do is that we eliminate the back balcony for the apartments on the ground floor, so that when we go on the upper floor, if I can remove the cutting, so that when you go on the apartments on the upper floor, this is literally overhanging here. Okay, and then here we do not actually have a balcony as such for purposes of passing the approval, since they want the building to be set or offset a minimum of 1.5 meters from the boundary wall. That's usually for really the general national building regulations. But when you come closer in Kampala and you go into areas that have that are under KCCA, it's actually more than 1.5 meters, it's 2 meters. So for KCCA, it's always 2 meters required to leave the distance to be left between the building and also the boundary wall. Okay, so basically this is one of the designs that is applicable in most scenarios when we are dealing with 50 by 100 plots. Okay, even of course much larger plots, but also when you look at the lifestyle of people that usually rent single bedroom apartments, this is really much more convenient, and it gives people a lot of privacy, a lot of room for doing whatever they need to do without using a lot of space. Okay, of course everything has to make financial sense for the developer. You don't want to be investing a lot of money in a building and yet people are not willing to pay that kind of money. Okay, or people are not paying for the extra space that you provide. Okay, so we are going to go into another design which is also for a single bedroom apartment. Okay, I want you to notice that with this kind of arrangement, we can have parking for about 4 cars. Even 6 cars can park there, but the most convenient way to park cars here would only require about 4 cars, where they can easily move in and out of the gate without having to inconvenience another. Of course, there are many ways in which we could arrange this apartment, but it might compromise on the parking space. You might find cars parking directly behind each other, and then maybe if one of the tenants wants to move out, they have to call out the other person behind them so they can leave, that kind of inconvenience. Those who have lived in this country, at least you know that in most of these congested areas, So anyway, we are going to explore another design of an apartment. This time we are going to be looking at a bungalow that is not an apartment. Okay, because if we are to have a bungalow in this scenario, we actually should be having more units than 3, because remember, these staircases that we see here actually take a lot of space. So these 2 staircases alone can actually go for another unit. Okay, let's explore the bungalow and see how many more units we can have besides this. Okay, but of course this one, if we have 3 floors, you see that the total we have is 3 by 3, which is a total of 9 apartments. Okay, then let's go for the bungalow now, and then we see how it's all going to play out. Okay, looking at this arrangement, this is definitely for the Mufunampola. Okay, you know how expensive it can be to build apartments, usually when they are storied. So for that person who might not have enough money to actually build a storied apartment, you can still be able to do something on your 50 by 100 plot. Okay, so in this scenario, we have these small these rentals, which are actually 5 units. If you to count well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we have just little minimum spaces that are left to the sides of the plot, just to cater for a little circulation around the plot, and also of course to fulfill the building regulations of leaving a minimum distance of 1.5 meters from the boundary wall. Okay, so we are going to be exploring this plan and see exactly how we can easily plan for our houses, and to see what exactly can fit on a 50 by 100 plot. Of course, before we even go very far, you can see that while we have designed these apartments and we might call this as parking, it is a kind of parking that is not as convenient. For example, this space that is left here is just about 4.5 meters. Okay, so we can have cars park along this line, like you'll see in the video. We can have cars park along this line in a linear format, and we could have even up to 4 cars. Okay, but there will be that inconvenience of people parking behind each other. Okay, some people might not be comfortable with it, and others might not have a big problem with it, depending on how much they're actually paying for rent. Okay, yes. So to be safe, we can say that there is not enough parking space with this kind of arrangement. Okay, so here you'll be targeting tenants that don't necessarily have to be driving. Okay, anyway, let's look at the planning of it and see. I'm going to apply the card so that you can see, and we are just going to use this first apartment as a sample. So we have our balcony here, which is actually the shed with a sliding rail. From there you access the apartment, as you can see, the rental. We have our TV unit over here, and we have a living room here, which is about 4 meters by 3.5. That's roughly just about 12 square meters of space. Then right behind there, we have our small kitchen cabinets. We have a sink here. There is also a possibility of actually extending this wall a bit this side, so that we can create more of like an open plan illusion. But basically we also have a point here where a fridge can actually go, and also next to the fridge, if someone has a washing machine, they can put it right here next to the fridge without inconveniencing anything else. So anyway, from there we have this bedroom here, and then we have just a normal bathroom, okay, with a toilet, and then a handheld shower, or it can even be a rainfall shower. And then we also have a wash and basin. So basically that is how simple the apartment is. With this kind of arrangement, we can have just about 5 apartments, okay, five units of single bedrooms. So the reason why we are doing this video is so that we can so that you can see and be able to manage your expectations when you are buying a 50 by 100 plot, or when you're actually going to start having a house designed on a 50 by 100 plot. There are different arrangements that we can do, of course, where we can even have six apartments with literally no parking, or parking for only a single car. But there are also other cons that might come with that, okay? But here we are looking at something that is a convenient size, where someone can consider this to be livable space without having to be inconvenienced by anything, okay? Anyway, this is what you can actually get on a 50 by 100 plot. Now we are taking that in a scenario where the access is here. Just like many plots in Ugandan estates, the access is always on the 50 feet side, okay? The side which is actually 15 meters. So if you find that your access is here, of course that is a big advantage, because that means you can utilize the parking much more properly without having actually the other inconveniences we talked about. For example, if you had the opening here, the cars can come and park this side, others can come and park this side. So if cars parked on this side would like to move out, they don't have to inconvenience cars that are parked on this side, okay? So that should also be something that you might want to look out for when you're buying plots, in case you ever find yourself faced with an issue of buying 2 plots where one has an access here and the other has an access here, okay? And that's very important. So without wasting a lot of time, we are going to go now to the third design criteria that we have chosen, that we believe is applicable, at least for the majority of the people, okay? So going to this criteria, or this sample of a design, one of the ways in which we can have single bedroom apartments on a 50 by 100 plot, already as a starter you can see that with this kind of arrangement you literally have no parking. You just have cars lining here, but it's still not enough space really. It might cause a lot of squeezing, and of course, even though you can have an extra parking slot here, that would not help a lot. Anyway, this depends on what kind of people you are targeting as a landlord, okay? So basically we enter the apartment from this very point, and if I'm to cut here we have a total of actually 4 apartments on the ground. Remember, in the first option we actually had an option of having only 3 apartments on ground, but with this option we have a total of 4 apartments on ground. So with the 3 floors that we have 3 by 4, that is 12 apartments, okay? But of course with not sufficient parking. That is key as well to note. Anyway, I'm going to cut through so that we can just explore one of the apartments. Let's just explore this one, whereby someone enters through here, enters into the apartment. This is the arrangement of the apartment. We have a TV point there. We have a small kitchen sink here, and then we have a place where a fridge can sit here and there. Just enough space, really, not so squeezed, but just enough space. Then we have the advantage of getting a bedroom here, like you can see, of course, with a closet. Whenever you're doing designs for apartments, these closets actually add more value to the apartment. People do not want anymore to be hanging their clothes just on the wall. Okay, so that should be a plus for you if you're planning to build apartments. So we also have a shower room here. We have a shower cabin. We have a toilet seater or a toilet cistern. Then we also have a wash hand basin, and then on this other corner just behind the stairs we have a place that you can use as a pantry, or you can use as a laundry area where you can install a washing machine and do whatever you want from there. Okay, so this is basically the arrangement we have. So with this, we literally can multiply this like this and mirror them over this staircase, and then have another set of the same apartments on this side, which actually gives us 4 apartments. So if you actually to imagine that you had, let's say you had a 60 by 100, this side, instead of being 50 to be 60, okay, that would give us an extra about 3 meters. That would literally give you sufficient parking space for this apartment, and you would be good to go. So the next time you're faced with the issue of buying a plot, and then you would like to buy a 50 by 100 or a 60 by 100, you need to know that that extra 10 on that extra 10 feet would actually do a lot of magic for you, whether you're doing a residential house or you're doing apartments. Anyway, otherwise guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please let us know what you believe would work for you if you are a developer, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.